accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
I have a lesson for you all, and we're going to stick with positivity, and we're going to go over the lesson. And I want to say, as the good brother says, I always like to do psychosocial educational therapy. You figure that one out. Because the deal is that because the root word for educate is to bring out that is from within. Because whatever's in you is going to do what? It's going to come out you. It's going to come out you. Let's be clear about that. And remember, one thing I realized that a lot of times when we take poison in our body, and our body can't take the poison, more than likely what it does? It comes out. Amen. It comes out. Yes. And it's a saying that if they don't get you in the wash, they're going to get you in the rinse. Ain't that something, man? Yes, yeah. So we all have to go through a process in life. You cannot run away from the what? From the process. That makes sense to you? Right. Whatever it is, we're going to go through a what? Process. Ain't it something? But we try to do our best to stay away from processed food. But yeah, because you never know the chemicals that they put in there, ain't that, man? Even in the substance of use and abuse, they take that through a what? A process, don't they, man? Good God Almighty. But they in there putting chemicals and putting all this stuff in there, then they tested it and seeing how it works and who's it going to affect and how it's going to affect. Man, somebody, they in the lab doing some what? Diabolical stuff. But they scientists. They're very curious. But they could be mad what? Scientists. Amen. Diabolical stuff. Yeah. Now, we know that Frankenstein was an experiment, right? Wasn't he, man? That's what he said. But he was a monster, wasn't he, man? Yeah. But he wound up turning on his what? His master. The very thing that be careful what you put out there, you may not like how it come back. Amen. Huh? You never know how somebody's feeling that day. You always say, well, how's somebody going? Man, they may be going through something. And then you test them, and all of a sudden you say, where this come from? I've never seen that in that person before. Because you never know what that person's going through. Be careful, because a lot of times we all like to, some of us like to pretend that we've been in bad. Huh? Right. Then somebody come with can exact the same force with you, you will proceed coming at with caution. And then when you come at a person and you see that he's stronger than you, then you like the next thing you know, I ain't trying to talk about nobody, but they put their tail up their what? Up their ass. Huh? Yeah. You run away. And I never seen something in society which when some people always tend they go around boom, boom, bang, bang. But when the police run, they what? They haul at it, don't they, man? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, man. We got to stop pretending. So that's why when we talk about Positive Month, you know, we talk about as it pertains to our tap into our self-worth, our intrinsic value, if I may use that, we want to talk about we must do that and we must put the work, the homework. Ain't that, man? Huh? Ain't that something, man? When you think of the word homework, we talk about homing in on something. Ain't that something? And when you're homing in on something, that means you always have to remain what? Focused. Huh? Focus. Because you have to, there's a saying, you have to starve your distractions and feed your what? Huh? Focus your attention, ain't it, man? You ever seen somebody, you see a nice young lady, and you walking, and next thing you know, you said, damn, and you looking at her, and boom, you run into somebody. I ain't saying y'all never did that or nothing, but you run into something. You know what I'm saying? Because she done took you off your what? Off your focus. That's why in the Masonic thing, they said always be on the square. You know what I'm saying? Always be on the square. That ain't no square though, but always be on the square. Now, because we always have to remember that we always must stay what? Focused now. All right. Homework. Observation. Positive month. Homing in. When you're homing in on something, you are zeroing in, huh? You got what they call laser what? Oh, boy, when many of us, some of us who are going through or doing something in life, that we want something in life, we got to home in on it. No, man, we got to have that what? That laser what? That laser focus. Ain't that something, man? Oh, boy. So when you got that laser focus, you can zoom in on it, and if you don't have the laser focus, that means you got what to do. You got work to do. Huh? You got work to do. Anytime you know, if any of us have to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, we ain't doing our homework because we ain't done the work. Nobody can do the work for you but who? You. We said it and you said it. When I was in here listening, you said thank you for this, thank you for that, but you realize they put you in a position to be what comes proactive. You know, the good word, I like how he said, is that, you know, you can't let nobody be coloring you all the time. Color me, color me. Oh, I like color me, color me, color me. Enough of that. Huh? We got to stand on our own what? got that conviction. That makes sense to you? So, but you got to do your homework, man. When you have your conviction, that means you stand on your own marriage. Huh? Ain't that something, man? You don't have to go on by what nobody else say. And when you stand on your own merit, because what needs to be restored for me, the first thing that needs to be restored is the need to restore our credibility. Ain't that something, man? That makes sense to you? Yep. When you're doing your homework, you're showing your credibility because you're becoming a credible person. And then remember, roughly what you just shared earlier, what you're doing, because you did the homework. Yep. You made a connection with someone else that helped you to make that connection because they were credible. And based upon their credibility, and then based upon the work that you were doing, you're credible. So you got some credible people connecting with one another, getting the thing done. Ain't that something, man? Making it happen. And that's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff, ain't it, man? So when you're going out there, you're looking for somebody to help. And as you said it earlier, you can see that they really don't want no help. I call it a confidence trickster. They gain your confidence and win your trust. They trick you. Ain't that something, man? And then you get tricked, you get caught in a trick bag, ain't it, man? Huh? You know, almost like, Yeah, charlatan, yeah. Watch out for them charlatans, boy. You get caught in a trick bag. And you know one thing about a bag also has a purse, right? A purse. Huh? A bag is something you carry in it, ain't it, man? You carry something in it. Watch out, man, because people carry shit in the bag, and in that bag, it becomes their tool case for them to manipulate you. But you got to have something in your bag. Huh? You got to have the coping skills that you need to do your tool case. And what you going to do? Because you got to counter that. Ain't that some shit, man? You don't want to live a life when you become counterproductive. Huh? And it says in that book, said be fruitful and multiply. We always think of sex. No, it is saying you got to be what? Productive. Because if you're not productive, this society will throw you to the wayside. Huh? They don't care nothing about you. Because you're not being what? Productive. That's right. So you got to be what? Productive. We talk about doing the homework. We said positive month, doing the homework. The first side of reading is observation, having your own merit, restore your credibility, stay focused. And the other one, you got to be what? Productive. All right. Now, when we are productive, we can see either the quality or the quantity of work that we have produced. Ain't that something, man? Huh? What you rather prefer? Would you prefer quality or quantity?
Quality. I prefer both of them.
Quality.
Okay,
Quality.
Okay. Yeah.
I like quality.
I like this here.
Quantity.
I like both, but I like this here. I have a preference. You know, Bobby Brown said my prerogative.
That's right.
I have a preference. And remember, you made a good thing now because he said something pretty good. You don't let nobody limit your options. Huh? I gave him 2 options, and I gave y'all 2 options. He said, I like them both. That shows you can't let nobody limit your options. Oh, you got something going on, but you have to transfer those skills. Huh? I just gave you something to acknowledge what you have been doing, but maybe you have not been doing it on a consistent basis because you may have not recognized what you were doing. Huh? Ain't that something, man? Make sure you send your checking money over to me because I just gave you something there. Huh? I'm telling you what I know. So this is good stuff now. This is good stuff. So now we see that in doing the homework, it's going to take some what? It's going to take some work. It's not going to happen overnight. As you use the word osmosis, somebody uses it, ain't no presto change-o stuff.
No.
You know, ain't no presto change-o. You got to do the work because you got to this point doing some what?
Work.
So why stop doing the work that got you to this point? Why change that?
Right.
What you should do is reinforce it. You should go extra hard. Go the extra mile. You know how it is. When we wanted to get what we wanted to get out there, we made sure that we got it.
That's right.
Huh? So we got to do the same when it's talking about what we want to do when it comes to changing our life around, being positive and doing the what? Doing the homework. When you're doing the homework, you do a cost-benefit analysis. Huh? You find out what works and what don't work. Huh? Once you found out what works, you work it because of what works. And the thing that says work it because of what it say, work it because it works or something. What it works if you work it. Yeah, it works if you work it. Huh? Oh boy, I like the way you work it. Yo, diggity. So here we go. So now, to move on. That means, and you hear what I'm saying. Now watch this here. When I say yo diggity, it works if you work it. That means you got to dig what? Deep. Ain't that something, man? Dig deep. You know, because that means you have to do some what? Some excavation work. Oh, when you do some excavation work, you hit that spot. When you hit that spot, you say, oh God, there it is. And you got an oil change. Now I'm talking about oil change. I'm talking about going deep down in the ground. Because when you strike that oil, that's rich, ain't it, man?
That's right.
What's the guy named Rockefeller? What was his name? Yeah, Rockefeller. He did the oil, didn't he?
Morgan.
Huh? What he did the oil?
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, because he went in the ground and he converted to oil.
No, man. Yeah, one of them did that, but that.
But what I'm saying is that he had to go excavation work because
man.
I'm making a point here. This is what the point I'm
One
making.
of them guys.
How you spell excavation? I think that's good.
What you put up, baby? You fail.
Because remember, you got a foundation, right?
Yeah.
Now, you got to build on the foundation. Now, but you got to dig deep down in the ground. Because you're pulling, when you build the house, you're pulling what down? You pull the concrete down, man.
That's right.
Huh? And when you pull concrete down, you can build on the foundation because you want the foundation to become what?
Strong.
Strong. What has happened is we have not digged deep down. We got to dig deep down within. When it comes to our emotional pain, the shit that we went through in life, we got to go deep down and deal with it. Because remember, we've been dealing with layers on top of layers on top of layers. Huh? That we are trying to cover up, that we don't want to deal with when it comes to our mental, emotional pain.
Right.
And this is when a therapist comes in. I used the earlier analogy to let y'all know that we got to dig deep. We want the pleasure, but we don't want the responsibility that comes with the pleasure. And we don't want to deal with the pain. We're all going to go through some what?
Pain.
Some pain. We got to deal with it. It makes no difference. But remember, you are equipped and prepared to deal with it. You didn't know that? Let me tell you, have somebody in your life that made a transition. Have somebody in your life that you love, they are not around no more. Huh? Remember, they may not be around or they may not be in your life no more, but who's still here? You. That's how I know that you are equipped, or we as humans are equipped and prepared to deal with it. Huh? Some may not be as equipped. I'm not trying to cast a broad brush because some people wind up giving up on what?
On life.
On life. And some people wind up giving up on who? On themselves. Ain't that something you give up on yourself? You on it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Don't give up on yourself and doing the homework, man, that you need to do. Because when you do the homework, it puts you in a position not only to be credible, responsible, but it also makes you become accountable. And we can't run away from that, man. That makes sense to you? Because we all have to give account to our actions. What we say, what we do, what we think, what we engage in, what we hear. A lot of times we may think somebody's saying something about us and they ain't even thinking the way that we think. Ain't that something, man? Because we may be going through some, I don't want to use the language wrong, but we're going through something in our mind. Forgive me for doing this. But, you know, we're going through something in our mind. And it may be something that we have experienced in the what? In the past. And it has surfaced itself because we have not what? Dealt with it. And the way that we sometimes learn to deal with it is we try to escape this reality. Some people, and I'm challenged by it, and I have some people, they turn to the streets. They do what they need to do do what they're doing because it's hard for them to deal with it. And that's why they need the proper help that they get. Proper help that they need. And that's why, like a lot of us, we're here because we're getting the what? The help that we need. You ought to commend yourself for that, man. People still out there, man. But you in what? You in here, man. Because you know the importance that you have to do the what? Work. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, man, your outcome should match your income. Or match your outcome. Yeah, I get them confused, the yin, the yang, potato. So, yeah, you're right. Your income should match your what? Your outcome. Because when you go to the bank, you open up an account, you only can take out what you what? Ain't that something, man? So that's why I says it works if you work it, and I use the analogy, what Diggity Weather says, but it's not, I'm not being, you may think I'm being what they call wrong, and I'm not. I'm just making a point. That's all I'm making. Do you know that you can reference something negative to make a positive point? And that's how you know when you deal with a mature person, because they can say, oh, I see that. And when we talking with one another in counseling, and even in marriage or in a relationship, you should say, well, darling, help me to understand what you are saying. Help me to hear what you're saying. Just help me. Because I am not understanding what you are saying. Help me. And what you do is, instead of escalate, it what? It de-escalate. Huh? That makes sense? Just help me. If we can help each other in that manner way, in the way that we talk with one another, we'll spend less time getting aroused or agitated. Help me to understand. That's all. And that's all I'm trying to get you to do, to help you to understand. Let's look at this up here, right? Let's do a multiple choice here, right? Let's have fun, all right? I'm not saying you know the answers, goddamn it. I have challenges with this. I'm going to give you something that's been given to me, huh? Remember the saying in the good book that he was educated in the house of what is also called Egyptians, even though Egyptians have no record of what happened, no big deal. But he said, but he took that and he used that to liberate his what? His people. So all that I'm learning, I'm trying to use it to help who? To help God. That's all. Let's look at this, see what the answer is. You may want to participate when you do this. Egocentric thinking. Ain't that something? Ego, because we all have what?
Ego.
Ain't that something, man? That's a hell of a thing. And we do things to suppress our what? Suppress our emotions to defend, to protect our ego. Suppress our emotions to protect our ego. Because we don't want to get what? Hurt. Ain't that something, man? A serious bill, man. Ain't that something, man? I was talking to one guy before we go up there. I was talking to one gentleman. He was supposedly radical, right? And someone said, well, what if he's married? A good friend of mine said, what if he's married to a white lady? It's can't crazy. Hey, I can see that coming from him. Hey, and yeah, he said, and the push come to shove, he was. Right? And I said, hey, brother. I said, hey, man, what you doing? You know, what's up? He says, brother, I married her humanity. And damn it, that didn't make sense. He married her humanity. And that's what's up, man. We got to get married to each other because of our humanity. Ain't that something, man? That is serious. Like if you are in a relationship, you want a relationship because you want somebody, you all treat each other what? Right. Treat each other right or good. Because we're human beings. We're no animal. We ain't nothing to be treated other than what? As human beings. Ain't that something, man? And that's the challenge. So we got to be married to each other's what? Humanity. That was touching to me, man. But it was I understand that because it was. You got me on that one though. So here it is. Egocentric thinking. Here we go. Is it A, B, C, or D, right? Egocentric thinking means a person always think negative about others, can't tell the difference between their point of view or the view of someone else's, believes in themselves too much, refusing to talk to anyone. See? Well, it says it's B.
Yeah, I was going to say it's between B and C. You can't tell the difference. Because they think their point of view is the most important, so they can't tell the difference between their point of view and someone else's.
The ego point of view.
The ego says it all.
Yeah.
How's it B?
Well, it says because you can't tell the difference. That's your ego in the way. Yep, you can't tell the difference. Yep.
It's your point, nobody else's.
Yeah.
I can see why they would say C though, and that is
Yeah,
tricky, because
but that's conceited,
believing
ain't
themselves too much, right?
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, well,
These
you
tests
know,
are tricky.
Remember
Yeah, that's
one
conceited,
thing.
right?
Always remember this.
Yeah,
Always
it is
remember
conceited.
this. Always
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah.
Always remember this.
They
That's
think
called.
their point of view is the most important.
Yeah, I got you. Always remember this though, right? There is something called similar, but not the what?
Same.
It's close, but not the same. Now, also, people do this stuff. They create a hypothesis, they create things, and they determine that this is what it is, based upon what? Evidence. The evidence, the work that they did. So that's fine. But the answer is B. Is B. Can't tell the difference. Okay, now, let's look at this one here. Two types of adolescent substance groups. That means adolescents mean probably from 12 to 18. All right, here we go. Medicinal use is most likely using drugs to try it just once, feel better from emotional or physical
No, you
pain.
missed the first one. Hey.
Oh, hey, yeah. Be cool at parties. Try it once. Feel better from emotional and physical pain. Copy what their friends do.
Say C.
There
Feel better from emotional or physical pain.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I say yeah, D.
Huh?
D.
I mean, we just have fun.
See.
But
See.
yeah.
Because it's medicinal.
Yeah.
That means pain.
See,
That's
it's
fine.
feel better, yeah.
Yeah.
Self-medicate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff. Alright. Let's say visual cliff, depth of perception. Alright, let's look at this. The visual cliff experiment shows that babies don't understand danger, have depth perception at an early age. Now I'm telling you what this is coming from. This is coming from yeah, it is from life to death. From life to death.
Okay.
From life to death. And don't underestimate children, babies now. Don't underestimate.
So be big.
There it is. It's B. It's B. Yeah. Yeah.
What is
It's B. Have depth perception at an early age. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, let's move on. We'll figure it out.
Where you get this one?
Don't worry about it. Alright. So now I got you. Alright. This is good because this is.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Which of the following is a risk for low birth weight babies?
Superfastering, higher physical strength, more
See.
health complications.
Yeah, there you go. See. Yeah, see, more health complications. See, y'all on it. You see what I'm also trying to get y'all to see how sharp and how really intelligent you already are.
It's loud,
Huh?
It's loud,
Yeah, that's right. You know, I don't know ain't nothing behind it. You keep your hands up behind it. Oh, man. Alright, now this is a good one. Y'all like this one here now, right? Types of play in associative play children. What was it, number 5?
C.
Okay, yeah. Ignore each other. When children in associative play, children do what? A, they ignore each other completely.
No.
Play together with a shared goal.
Yes.
I don't know. Play side by side without talking. Interact to share but don't work toward the same goal.
B.
I think C.
D?
D.
The last one.
Yeah! See, I'm telling you all, it's D. It's D.
Share but don't work.
It's D. Ain't that something, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ain't that something? It's D. Yeah. Yeah.
Tests are tricky.
Gotcha.
Tests are tricky like that.
Yeah, you are. I said you are. I said you are. Alright, here we go. Now I don't know about this one, but y'all got me on this one. Now this is one.
Kind of bell shape.
Yeah, y'all got me on this one. Y'all got me on this one.
In the middle years.
I ain't going back.
The
Yeah, y'all got me
U-shaped
on this
B. In the middle years, often while raising children.
Yeah, y'all doing that. I can't elaborate on this one. Y'all got me on this
I
one.
can elaborate
I'm
on
just
that.
saying.
Cause y'all
Because the U shape is like, it goes like this, like U satisfaction.
Oh,
Okay.
it's in the middle years. It's B.
It's B.
Yeah.
It's because it's a U shape, so on a graph, if it's a U shape, means they're really happy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then it goes down.
There you go. There you go.
Middle years, and then it goes really up.
There
and
you go.
goes.
There you
That's
go.
what it
There you
is.
go.
You
Yep.
get
There
after
it is.
they
My man,
grown
you're
and get out the house, then you get
And you're happy.
You're on it. I
Once
appreciate
you've made it
you.
through all the tough times, make it through.
All right, now this is a good one here. This is a good one here. Let's see. Y'all may know this one. Let me see. Older adults. Older adults in car fatality. Older adults are higher fatality rates in car accidents mainly because of what?
Bad drive. A, they are bad drivers. B, they drive faster than others. C, their bodies are more fragile. D, they use cell phones too much. C, their bodies are more fragile.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. Yeah, the body more
Yeah.
fragile. Yep. Ain't that something, man? That's good stuff, man. All right, it's something.
That's why people using substances usually a lot of times don't die in accidents because they're very loose. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
All right, this is a real sensitive one. It says, where do people die?
In developed countries, most people die A, at home, B, in a hospital or care facility, C, on vacation, D, at work.
A.
B.
In a hospital.
B. B.
Hey, okay. Y'all good.
Yeah.
Good. It's B. It's B.
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 That's why I don't like. Yeah, it's
I don't
B.
like
I
hospital.
would say that too.
I don't like hospital. That's why I don't like hospital.
I don't like. I don't like. I know somebody. I got the answer.
The answer right there for him, buddy.
How about you looking at that? You said.
All right, here we go. Number
Divided
9.
attention.
Okay, which of the following is an example of divided attention? A, sleeping without distractions. B, eating a meal while watching TV. Talking to a friend face to face. Walking in silence.
Eating a meal
B.
while watching TV.
B.
It's B, yeah. That is, yeah. Good stuff. All right. And what was number 10? And this is a challenging
Even
one.
afterlife.
All right, this is a challenging one. This is a challenging one. It says, what percent of Americans believe in life after death?
90. B.
I think
D.
25. A.
C.
A.
C. Supposed to be 75%.
Well, D.
Yeah, D. It's supposed to be 75%. That's what I know, 75%. But it's a large number of people that believe in what?
The afterlife.
Now, I don't know, it says 75. You know, that's the correct answer.
It will always be that 25% because you got people that don't believe in
In
anything.
anything.
And
They
then,
don't- Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm probably cold with this one here. There ain't a question. All right. Because we still a positive month, and I was gonna get into it. It says here is that the people can teach you 2 things. What can they teach you?
What to
Right.
do and what not to do.
What to do and what not to do.
yeah.
That's a trick question.
Yeah. Reality.
Yeah. That should be your pet peeve. That should be one of yours. Man. They can teach you 2 things. Cause
He's in the car, he's in the Uber now on the way.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all doing it. That's good shit, man. So, you see, then I was going to get in there, and I got some other stuff for you too in there. But I was going to get into this first because we're still in the positivity month. This is about 100 and some pages and stuff like that. But I just want to do a positivity month. It says that others observe his choice of outcomes, his choices offers powerful lessons, whether they serve as positive models or cautionary examples. It says, this directly connects with Psalms 1:1, which says, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, and stand in the sinners, nor stand in the way of the sinners, nor sit in the mockers, seat of the mockers. Because remember, people can teach you 2 things: what to do and what
Not to do.
All right. It goes on to say, this verse highlights what not to do. Don't follow the advice, behavior, or mindset, good one, of those who lead you away from what?
The truth.
Oh, your righteousness. We was born, man. We was born like that. And righteousness is a win-win situation. It implies discernment, learning from those around you, even if it's to avoid their what? Their path. Ain't that something, man? Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that clarity you're pointing to is deeply rooted in Psalms, which becomes deserving what not to follow, just as much whom you what? Emulate. Here it is, mentorship. When it comes to mentorship or leadership, the principle of Psalms learning 101, if you want a mentor, look at this one here. Psalm 101, it says from both positive and negative, you can learn. You know that. We can both learn from positive and what?
Negative.
It is crucial for what? Growth, especially in character development. And that's your word. That's why I put it dark. Decision making. Decision making. All right. Mentorship, learning by contrast. A good mentor teaches through their what?
Action.
Not what they what?
Mouth.
Right
Not
words.
what they words. Not what they words. Let's be clear with that. Wisdom and what? And experience. That's why you want a good what? Mentor. If I may use that language, you know. Or some people call it judgment. But even a flawed mentor can teach important what?
Lessons.
A lot of times we put so much on them. And then when they make a mistake, they let you down, then that could trigger you.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Like you said, a clock is right twice a day.
Hey,
A broken clock is right.
hey, man, you on it. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It says important lessons, not because of what they do right, but by showing what to avoid. Ain't that something, man? You know that, man. Positive mentors teach you what to do. Integrity, because integrity is their what? Word.
Mm-hmm.
They about their what? Word. A lot of times people ain't about their word and they let you what?
Damn.
Consistency, compassion, and responsibility. Now let's look at the negative mentors. These are the examples that they're setting, and these are things that you need to know and identify with them. Because they said that some people, he was a perfect model, a perfect what? Example.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Why not you be the example?
Mm-hmm.
Negative mentors or experiences teach you what not to do. Manipulation, arrogance, inconsistency, and exploitation. Huh? Negative mentor. This is why mentorship is just about following someone what? Blindly.
Mm-hmm.
If the blind follow the blind, or the blind is leading the blind, they both gonna fall in what?
Oh.
In the whole little ditch, man. Don't follow no one blindly, trust me. Don't look at what they got on, how they look and all that stuff. That shit is a disguise.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen an attractive guy? You say, oh man, I like him. You know, he got big old shoulders and big old chest, whatever it is. You just follow him, you know. Here we go. It don't go the same way, you know, other way. Why mentorship is not just about following someone blindly, but learning to discern what is true and good and align with whose values? Your values. Don't align with something or someone that doesn't, don't connect with someone that doesn't align to what? Your values. If you are not getting high and you're getting, interacting with somebody that's getting high, that ain't what your value. Why are you interacting with them or something?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Leadership, modeling, and impact. Leaders influence culture through their actions and decisions. Their example becomes a model, whether good or what?
Bad.
We on something. A righteous leader encourages growth, responsibility, and unity. A corrupt leader teaches not directly, but by showing the consequences of what? Of selfishness, division, or the abuse of power. Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
That's some corrupt shit, ain't it, man?
Mm-hmm.
Strong. My man, that's right. That's right. And it can come from your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. It can be somebody close to you. Don't matter. They don't know because the society may have influenced them, and they listen, man. And they did the best that they could, man.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come out from the wing or the shadow of them, ain't that something, man? And then you step forth. Because it's your time to shine. Huh? You want to get out from their wing. You want to get out from always being caught. Huh? But the person that you don't look for nobody to cover you, you learn to cover who?
Yourself.
Psalms 1:1 implies the wise people choose carefully who they allow to influence them.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? That's some serious shit, ain't it, man? In leadership, this means don't let nobody choose you who you should what? Follow?
Mm-hmm.
Who you should accept? Who you should believe in? Who you should be with? That's why it ain't always good. Let somebody know what the hell you're doing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They'll influence you. If you listen to them, if you are not strong enough in your thinking and your decision making, you will always be under somebody's influence. And you know what? That's a form of intoxication. Be mindful whose counsel you accept. That's a powerful thing, boy. Reflect on your own influence. Ain't that something, man? Are you teaching others what to do or what not to do? Clarity and purpose. You should teach people what not to do. Or you should teach people what to do. And what should you teach people to do? To be about and have clarity in what? In purpose. Ain't nothing like clarity. Yes, right. We're going to bring it to a close. Clarity comes, here we go. It comes when you observe. It is. Remember I said the first sound of reading is what? Observation. Observe, reflect, and learn from both types of what? People.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to see what kind of person you want to become. Ain't that something? Mirror what you reflect, admire, and respect what you want to become. Ain't that something, man? And when you do that, you become a better version of who? Of yourself. What kind of behaviors lead to destructions or blessings? Ain't that something? What kind of behavior that we have been participating in and that's been leading to destruction or blessings? Ain't that something, man? In fact about it, we get to a point where we get so close to our blessing that we destroy it. It's to a point now that we look at others as a blessing, but don't see ourselves as a what?
Blessing.
As a blessing. That's on social comparison. I may not have, I'm not down saying anybody, I may not have the same hips that that person has. So what? Huh? I may have the same shaped nose that that person has. Well, so what? Huh? Accept who? Accept yourself. That's a beautiful thing when you get with somebody in any relationship that accept you for who?
Yourself.
Accept you for you, man. So yes, people always teach by their what? Their walk. Or by their what? By their fall. Amen. The wise observe both paths. We just went over a few things when it comes to positive mother. We talked about we got to do the what? The homework. We got to put the work in. It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be some difficult times. There's going to be some struggle. There's going to be some pain. There's going to be some lonely nights. There's going to be sometimes some sleepless nights. There's going to be times when you're going to be uncertain. You're going to be unclear. Huh? But if you have that higher power that you say you believe in, hold on to it. Huh? Grab it if all you can. And you know in the good book, it says, I ain't going to let them go until you bless me. Hold on to it, man. You are the blessing. You are the blessing. And when you are the blessing, that means people see you as the blessing. That means you'll go around blessing others. You got to be tired of being the tail. Don't you want to be the head? You got to tired of being at the bottom. Come on, man, be at the top. And when you're at the top, you're at the highest peak, you know you got to come in the valley. But when you come in the valley, you know you got work to what? Work to do. But while you being at the top, it took you some minute to get there. Huh? But while you're going there, you was getting all the coping skills that you need to do. One of the coping skills that I always say, avoid avoidable suffering. You don't have to suffer to learn. You put yourself through what? Unnecessary. Allow the help to help you. Don't just keep helping yourself. Allow the help to help you. As we continue to help each other, we continue to do better. we continue to be better. We can free ourselves from unnecessary pain, unnecessary suffering, unnecessary misery, unnecessary turmoil, unnecessary confusion, unnecessary chaos. We can free ourselves. And we are free. If what makes you free is the deeds that you do. Ain't that something, man? Because deeds repeat themselves, become habits. And habits become your habitat. Huh? Stop dwelling on the past. The past is just a reference point. It's not a place of residence. Don't go around looking for somebody to be an enabler partner. Don't go around looking for somebody to confirm your biases, to confirm your bullshit. Huh? Don't go around. There's enough of that going around. Huh? And don't allow no one to discourage you. And don't allow no one to place stigmas on you. Nor do you do it to who? Yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Keep on rising to the top. And you know one thing I realized about greed, it always rises to the what?
Top.
But it rises peaceful, undisturbed, because it's a natural thing to do. Homework on yourself. Better improving yourself. It's natural. It's natural for growth. It's natural for transformation. It's natural. Do the homework. Stand on your own merit. Know that strength is in restraint. Do the excavation work. Dig deep down and strike the ball well. Make it work for you. Have that strong foundation that you need to build. Because the foundation is going to be what? Tested. And the test is designed to see how you process information. Restore the credibility. Become credible. Read the room. Huh? You know certain spots at one time, we know where to go and where not to what? Not to go. We know people to be around and people not to be around. Huh? We know who we want to what we want to entertain us, and that doesn't and what you don't want to entertain you. I went somewhere the other day and it didn't rub me so good, but you know what I did? I left because I was tired. I didn't want to be entertained by that no more. Huh? Reading is not what you see on paper; it's observation. Focus. Stay focused. Starve your distractions and feed your what? Feed your focus. Credibility needs to be restored. Quality and quantity. Some would say I prefer quality over quantity. At the end of the day, you want to be effective. At the end of the day, you want to be productive. Huh? Some would say, yeah, I take the quantity and the quality. Don't allow nobody to limit your what? Your options. Huh? Don't allow nobody to limit your what? Your options. I'm going to repeat that. Don't allow nobody to limit your what? Your options. They will take you into a hole. And when they take you into that hole, you will stay there. That means the South Coast, that hole runs what? Deep. Because they guided you in that way. And what did they guide? If you are unable to control your desires, somebody else will control your desires for you. And then you get in a hole. That means you get stuck. And you make the work harder than it should be. It's supposed to be. Home in, zero in, be laser focused on your recovery. Not for immediate gratification, but it's a lifelong what? Lifelong journey, a lifelong process. Who woke us up this morning?
God,
God.
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot